Hi. Today I am going to be answering one of your guys', requests for a video, and that's how to make a frog trap. And I got this recommendation from my friend, so shout out to him, I guess. So what you're going to need is a milk jug, an empty milk jug, and make sure you clean it out with some hot water and maybe some soap if you want, if it's non-toxic. But you want that, a little bit of water, and then you're going to want a couple mealworms. Let me get those real quick. And if you don't have mealworms, or you want to use something else or use more than just mealworms, I recommend using like grasshoppers or crickets, since they're loud, and the frogs, when they hear that, they're going to go crazy and they're going to try to find them. So crickets and grasshoppers are pretty good for this too, but since I'm not really going to be actually using this, I'm just showing how to make it, I'm just going to use some mealworms. So I've got these here. Okay, so then what you want to do is, okay, where is the lid for this thing? Oh, there it is. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is take this, obviously, and I recommend you do this side, since it has that thing right there, and they might get encouraged to go right there, and you don't want them to, obviously, so I recommend doing it on this side. So what you're going to want to do is, you can grab a Sharpie, but you just have to make a square, and it's not very hard, but I can't really hold a camera with one hand and cut, so I'll be right back. Okay, once you have it cut out, you can use a lighter to make the edges not super sharp, since they're amphibians and they don't have scales, so they can get cut a lot easier. Or what you can do is use tape, or you can use a lighter and tape, but I recommend tape, since you can take this part and kind of put it back and make it at an angle like that, because if there's so much light going through there, there's not that much space for darkness. So I would recommend using tape. It doesn't really matter, just some good tape, not flimsy tape. But yeah, let me do this real quick. Okay, that was probably a really bad transition, but okay, so once you have the lid on top, and you don't have to do these little pillars here, I just did it, but you can make it so it drops as soon as I go in. I don't know how, I'm just doing the video right now, but you can figure it out. You've all got brains, hopefully. But what you're going to want to do is add a little bit of water. I already did, but I'm going to do it again. Just make sure it's not a bunch. Just make sure it's a little bit, since they're amphibians, and if they don't have water, they'll dry out really fast. So just make sure that there's a generous amount of water. Not too much, but not too little. And if you have soil too, use some of that, because I guess it just, just think about it. It makes them feel more at home. If there's just water, then, they're going to think it's part of the pond or whatever. But now you're done, technically. But if you really want to take it to the next level, like for comfort for them, if you have got enough black tape, you can probably wrap it around the entire thing so it's completely pitch black in there. That would be better, but I don't really have that much tape, so I'm not going to waste it all. But once you're done with this is what it should look like. Well, at least, maybe. But what you're going to want to do now is go to a pond or a lake. Just make sure that the water is like, it kind of looks like a swamp, I guess. But find a part that's really muddy and it's got grass and it's right next to the shore. But what you're going to want to do is make a hole that goes until the dirt line is right on the top there. Because if the dirt is doing that, like a hill kind of, I don't really think they're going to want to go, since that's making them have to go out more, and there's birds and stuff, so I think it'll scare them a lot. So try to make it as close to the ground level as possible. But once you're done with that, you can put grass and dirt on top and stuff, so it's even more dark and more homey. And yeah, I think that's it for me, but go catch some frogs. Take it easy, guys.